it's slightly down.
No.
Brian, please have all your listeners stop what they're doing. Your number one caller, voted by PTL Nation, is calling in to bring fire. First of all, Trump's tariffs, and you've told me over and over we're going to go into a major recession. The economy's up 3.8%, April through June.
How was that jobs?
In 2 years.
How was that jobs report? That's
part of
it. I'm talking about the economy. I'm asking you a question. How was that jobs report that just came out?
So are we in a recession or not?
Answer my question.
No.
How was that jobs report that just came out? Why won't you answer the question?
Okay, it's slightly down.
No. You're not going to get a chance to talk not answering the question. It's not slightly down. It's the worst jobs report we've had in years. It's not slightly down, sir. You're wrong. It is the worst jobs report we've had before Joe Biden took office. So don't you give me this nonsense that it's slightly down. By the way, you're 100% wrong on the statements that you're making about the economy as well. You sound very confused, sir. But by the way, it's not slightly down. So go ahead as we pod you back up. I'll give you a chance to talk. But don't say it's slightly down, because that is factually inaccurate, sir.
Okay, but that's one indicator of the overall economy, which is up a huge amount, 3.8%.
No, it's not up. No, it's not. It's not up huge amounts. You're wrong about that as well. You're very ill-informed. But go ahead, sir. By the way, you're not.
No, it's today.
No, it's not.
April through June report. It's not been revised.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm sure you think that the numbers, the jobs reports, needs to be revised as well. I'm sure every number that comes out, you think needs to be revised, and I'm sure you're okay with Donald Trump firing the people who put these reports out that are, by the way, very accurate. But go ahead, sir. Let's move on.
My second question to you: what do you think is more important? Would you say to get a job merit-based or DEI? If you had to have one or the other, what one should go?
I think that a lot of the members of Donald Trump's administration should have been hired on merit. Yes, I absolutely agree. I'm sure you would agree with me. Do you think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was a merit-based hire? Do you think Tulsi Gabbard was a merit-based hire? Do you think Kash Patel was a merit-based hire? Go ahead. Why don't you answer those questions? Answer the question. Do you think Kash Patel was merit-based? Yes or no?
Probably not, but do you think
probably not? Do you think Kamala Harris is not Kamala Harris is not the president? We're talking about Donald Trump. You just admitted to me that Kash Patel was not a merit-based hire. So by that standard, Kash Patel is a DEI hire. I'm glad we agree on that. What about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Do you think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has the credentials to be in that position, or was that a DEI hire as well? Was that merit-based, sir?
Well, let me get mine. What about
No. You're going to answer my question. You're going to answer my question, and then I will answer yours. But we're going to go with the people that are actually in office right now. Kamala Harris is not in office, but I will answer your question. No, Kamala Harris was not a DEI hire. Kamala Harris was somebody that was voted twice to be the attorney general and was an elected senator. Those are some pretty damn good credentials with a college degree, a well-educated woman. So the answer is no, Mr. Klansman. Kamala Harris was not a... No, answer mine. Answer mine. Shut up and answer mine. I just answered your question. Shut up.
I can say the same
Shut up
thing.
and answer. Shut up and answer mine. Is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. a DEI hire, or did Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have the credentials merit-based to be in that position? Yes or no?
Just like Harris, he has a college degree, yes.
Yep, but I named a few more important things with Kamala Harris. If you notice, sir, get the MAGA wax out of your ears. I didn't just say she had a college degree. She also,
you did, no.
Yeah, I did. That was one of the things I said, sir. Pay attention and follow along, okay? I have to speak to idiots like you, like you're a kindergartner. I said that she was duly elected twice as attorney general, twice, not once, twice, and an elected senator, okay? Give me the credentials medically. Give me one credential. Hold on, listen. Give me one medical credential, just one, that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has. One. Give me one, please. Go. Are you a DEI caller? Go.
So no more DEI talk.
You're the one who used the term merit-based, you clown, and answer my question. Name me one medical credential that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has. I've now asked that question 3 times. I answered your stupid Kamala Harris question. Now answer mine, dummy. Name me one medical. Don't answer a question with a question. Name me one medical credential that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has. I'm now asking you for a 4th time.
You don't have to have a medical.
Oh, it sounds like you have a Joe Biden stutter. I will now ask you for the 5th time, and don't stutter, because I don't. Name me a medical.
He doesn't have anything.
He doesn't have anything.
Okay, so
thank you 5 times for answering my question. So would you say that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a DEI hire? We've already established that Kash Patel is. By the way, these are very high, powerful positions within the Trump cabinet. I'm sure you would agree. So would you agree now, based on no merit of any medical credentials, that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a DEI hire? Yes or no?
So thank you for proving my point.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer the question.
Is terrible.
Is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. a DEI hire? Yes or no?
Yes. Thank you for proving my point.
No, you didn't make a point. You didn't make a point. You didn't make a point. No, I'm saying here's what I'm saying. You idiots out there use the term DEI to attack black people because it's your version of the N-word. What I just proved is my point, which is idiots like you will never complain about Donald Trump and members of his administration that he hired, but you want to go back to the black lady, Kamala Harris, and call her a DEI hire, which, by the way, she wasn't. I named her credentials. You couldn't name any credentials.
Well, Brian, you just said those 3 are DEI hires. I agree.
Then why do you bring up Kamala Harris? Then why do you bring up Kamala Harris?
Because I don't see it as white or black. I see it as anyone that.
Why is Kamala Harris a DEI hire? Why was Kamala Harris a DEI hire? Tell me why.
Because Joe Biden said he's going to hire the best black person for the position.
Just because she was black doesn't mean she didn't have the merit or credentials to be there. Tell me why she didn't have the credentials. Tell me.
Because she was the worst rated Democrat.
Because she was the worst rated. By the way,
position.
Okay,
she had 1% in the primary. The Democrats didn't even like her.
She got almost as many votes popular as Donald Trump. And by the way, just because you don't get the votes doesn't mean you're a DEI hire. Was Ross Perot a DEI hire? Just because you don't get the votes doesn't mean you're a DEI hire, dummy. You don't even know what DEI hire is. It means they're not qualified. What was Donald Trump's qualifications first time around when he ran for president?
Well, you say I'm hiring someone because of their color, they have to be this color.
What was Donald Trump's qualifications to be the leader of the free world?
Brian, yes or no?
Answer my question first.
You answer no. Did he say because of color?
Goodbye. You're a racist. Get off my show. You frickin' turd, you. What were Donald Trump's credentials? Notice how when I asked you, you couldn't name one credential that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has. You couldn't name one credential that Kash Patel has. But the first thing you bring up is a black lady. And you mean to tell me this has nothing to do with race? You are a racist. You are a bigot. That is why you are a Donald Trump supporter. Not every single person who voted for Donald Trump is a racist, but every racist voted for Donald Trump. And you happen to be one of them. You're not a Democrat. You're a MAGA. And when we mention DEI hire, the first person you bring up is Kamala Harris. And you couldn't tell me why she wasn't qualified. Oh, she only got 1% of the vote. That doesn't mean you're a DEI hire. We're talking about credentials. Twice an attorney general elected, an elected senator, an educated woman. Those are what we call credentials. Not somebody like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's used his last name and sued the pharmaceutical companies. That doesn't mean he should be in the position he's in. Or not some moron make for pretend Kash Patel to be leading the FBI. It is a joke. You are a racist. So don't you tell me this isn't about race. Let me be very clear. The word DEI hire for MAGA Republicans is code word for calling somebody the N-word. And you are trash. Or as I would like to call you, MAGA trash. Not calling you Democrat MAGA. Next time you call into the show, you're going to be known as MAGA trash.
Hello, good afternoon. I just wanted to congratulate Donald Trump for bringing the crime down in Washington, D.C.
Is this a serious call?
Oh, yes, sir.
So did you also congratulate him for pardoning a bunch of January 6th insurrectionists? He pardoned all of them, many of them who beat police officers. Did you congratulate him then? Or did you call him out?
Oh, the police officers that let him in? That they beat up?
Actually, that's not true. There were only several officers that let him in. Let's be factually accurate. There were 140 officers that were beaten. There were only several officers, and they testified
but they still let him in.
Yeah, and they testified under oath. And do you know why they did that, sir? Well, let me ask you a question, because you seem like a really smart guy. When you have 2 or 3 police officers and you have hundreds and hundreds of people that are trying to push through you, they have two choices: either take out your gun and start killing people and shooting people, or let them in. Do you think they made the right decision?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you think, okay, so let me get this right. You think that the 2 or 3 police officers there that day who testified under oath, you think what they should have done was taken out their gun and start killing people?
Yeah,
that's
why not?
Okay, well then you're an idiot. I really don't know what else to say. You're an idiot. Did you complain about Ashley Babbitt's death?
Who the hell is that?
You don't? Okay, so you want to call in and talk to me about January 6th and you don't even know who Ashley
No,
Babbitt
I
is?
didn't say January 6th, sir. I said Washington, D.C. is crime is down.
No.
I didn't say anything about January 6th.
You're talking about Washington, D.C. and crime being down. Last I checked.
Yeah, 2025,
Okay,
not 2020.
right. Okay, calm down, sir. Take a breath. Calm down. Okay. Something called January 6th also happened in Washington, D.C. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, because I want to see if you're consistent. Okay. I want to see if you're consistent. On January 6th, people died and 140 officers were injured that day. You're telling me you don't even know who Ashley Babbitt is? How ill-informed are you? Who cares? Who cares? Okay. So you're claiming you don't care about people getting killed, but yet you want to congratulate Donald Trump for the crime being down in D.C. Sir, do you watch the news? Are you like a
80%
I'm sorry.
Population.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
What? I'm sorry. Repeat yourself. What did you just say, sir?
I said there's too many people on this planet. We need to get rid of 80% of the population.
Okay, get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. He's obviously not a serious person. I will say this, sir. If we needed to get rid of anybody in the population or deport people, you would be the first person on my list. Okay, well then you're a complete idiot. You hold the president less accountable than a radio show host, and that proves that you're a complete imbecile. There's no point in having a conversation with you because you're claiming that me putting up a picture of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt, not even knowing that it was a Photoshop picture, is more dangerous than the president of the United States at a funeral, Charlie Kirk's funeral, saying that he hates half of America.
Real quick, I wanted to, I have a thing about this thing with Jimmy Kimmel, and I kind of want to get your stance on it. Do you think it was like Donald Trump's like direct order to get his show taken off the air?
I absolutely believe that he was a huge part of it. This wasn't just the guy from the FCC who said, you know what, let's get Jimmy Kimmel off the air. It's not a coincidence that Donald Trump has been going after Jimmy Kimmel for years and Jimmy Kimmel has been going at Donald Trump for years. So the answer would be yes. Right. I think it starts from the top all the way down. This wasn't somebody who said, we got to get Jimmy Kimmel off the air. No, it was Donald Trump that was whispering in their ear and putting pressure on them like he does for everybody else because he has the mob boss mentality. So the answer is yes.
So, do you think it was more so from like the first comment where like Jimmy Kimmel mentioned?
No. I don't.
You don't think
no, I don't think it was about either comment. I think Charlie Kirk was murdered, which we hopefully all could agree was a terrible thing. And Donald Trump was looking for any excuse to get him off the air. And I think this was the perfect opportunity for him to do so. Now, thank God he failed, but it was, it all came together and they thought that this would be the best timing to do it. That's what I think. If Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated, they probably wouldn't have done it, but they thought it was the right timing to do it. And they failed.
I don't see. I disagree with you there. I don't. Well, I disagree with what the FCC director said. Like, I don't think it's right of him to go onto like whatever podcast he was on and say, oh, we're going to do this, that, the other. But I think it really came down to, I think if you're a public figure and you work for a private company, if you say crazy things, you get taken off the air. You know that being in radio.
Not on Fox News. Not on Fox News. Not on conservative talk radio. Not on Fox News. They don't get taken off the air.
Carlson got fired from Fox News.
Well, I understand that.
The other day, it's not about red. It's not about blue. It's about green, right? If you say stuff that's going to cost your company money,
but that's the thing. You can lie on the air and it doesn't cost your company money. I can guarantee you nothing Jimmy Kimmel said costed the company money. In fact, many of
but
his.
It did, though.
No, I disagree with you. There are not
Brian,
many.
Hang on.
There are not many. There are not many MAGA supporters that are fans of Jimmy Kimmel.
Radio is not all that different from TV. I mean, it is. Video killed the radio star. But if you were to go on a rant one day and you were to say some crazy stuff about a certain race or religion, whatever you want to do, the people
didn't do
that
that.
broadcast.
Jimmy Kimmel didn't do
But
that.
I'm saying, but hang on. But what I'm saying is, the people that broadcast your show can say, "Hey, Brian, we don't like what you stand for. Our advertisers don't want to advertise during your show."
I work
for
myself. I'm independent media, so that would never happen.
But okay, but you were for a station, right? You did work for a station in the past.
I've worked for stations in the past, but if you're talking about me right now, I only represent myself. And number two, Jimmy Kimmel did not do that. He didn't make any racist comments. Let me be clear here. If Jimmy Kimmel, hold on a second. Hang on. Well, no, wait. Let me make my point first, and then your turn. If Jimmy Kimmel had gone on the air and celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk, I would absolutely agree with the firing. He did not do that. Nothing that Jimmy Kimmel did rises to any level of what Fox News does on the air every single day. But you see, it makes Fox News money. When Jesse Waters goes on the air, or Laura Ingraham goes on the air, and they attack minorities and they lie, or they say they are eating the cats and the dogs, which we know is not true, or Trump won the 2020 election, which is not true. They don't take them off the air.
I agree,
it's a double standard. It's a double standard.
Say crazy thing. Okay, Tucker Carlson got kicked off the air. He got kicked off the air. So you can't be like, oh, it's a complete double standard.
And why did Tucker Carlson? And why did Tucker Carlson get taken off the air?
I don't recall the exact details.
You don't call.
Sure
so why are you making the? So why are you making?
No, hang on.
So why are you making the point if you don't know the details?
Machines, right?
Tucker Carlson lied on the air every single day for years. If you are trying to make the case that they fired him because he put out misinformation, that is absurd. All these anchors and all these shows and Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham lie on the air every single day. With all due respect, sir,
Brian,
what you're saying is wrong. It's not true.
But do you think that saying a comment like that, like, okay, let's say he would have came out and be like, the comment he said that the MAGA gang is trying to make it seem like this shooter was anyone but themselves. That's true. It's true. It's true what Jimmy Kimmel said. Yeah. So when he used the term MAGA gang, he's talking about people on the far right that immediately were saying this was a lefty Democrat liberal without knowing any of the information of this individual. You know what they did when the first assassination attempt of Donald Trump happened? Do you remember that? Remember when everybody out there on the right was blaming a lefty Democrat when it turned out to be a registered Republican? The point that Jimmy Kimmel was trying to make is these idiots on the far right are claiming that it's the left. They killed Charlie Kirk when they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. No. He said they're trying to say it's anyone but them. It could be middle, left, terrorist, whatever it is. He said anyone but them.
Yeah.
Like he's saying in as many words that it is that. It is one of them.
No, he did not say that. He did not say that.
I think maybe. So do you think it's problematic before all the evidence comes out to be like, hey, he's one of them?
Do you realize how many times that happens on the far right?
I'm going somewhere with that.
What did he say with them? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Like what his comment was. It was
what
the
was
MAGA
it again?
gang is trying to make it seem like it was anyone other than them.
Well, yeah, that's true. They are doing that. And they still don't know. He wasn't a registered Democrat. We know that for sure. We also know he came from...
Would you condemn that from the other side?
I condemn anybody in general terms, I'm speaking right now, that put blame on... I'm trying to answer your question. That put blame on anybody without knowing all the facts. But he was correct. But he was correct when he said the MAGA gang, meaning MAGA Republicans, are trying to make sure that they pin it on everybody else but them. When we had the casualties that took place in New Orleans, they said that it was an undocumented immigrant and it was Joe Biden's open borders. They never retracted that. They do it all the time. They blame it on a transgender. We heard that it was a transgender. We heard it was a transgender. I don't think anything Jimmy Kimmel said.
Do you think people on both sides should be able to retract and apologize for when they get it wrong?
First of all,
someone were to say, if someone on the left, like right before the evidence came out, if someone on the left were to be like, this guy's a Trumper and post fake stuff saying that he's MAGA, would you condemn that?
I think it depends on the person, and it depends on the circumstance. There are doctored photos.
I'll give you an example.
I'm giving an example. You got to let me finish. Okay, please don't interrupt. Let me finish. There are doctored photos all over the internet. I didn't know they were doctored photos, and I take ownership of that. I saw a picture of this guy. I thought it was a real photo. I didn't Photoshop it. I don't know who did, but it was a picture of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt. There are also people that do things with no ill intention. They don't know that they are.
So you retract that, right?
Okay, is that a serious question, sir? I mean, are you an idiot?
No, I'm not. Yeah,
no, I'm asking you. I'm a serious question. Are you an idiot? What did I just say? Do I have to repeat myself over again?
Some people
Pod this idiot down. You obviously don't listen. And I know what you're trying to do. I will repeat myself once again so a MAGA moron like you can understand. Okay, I'll repeat it again. There are people that put things on social media or say things with no ill intent. For example, I just brought up the fact that I saw a picture of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt. And the reason why I thought it was a real picture is because he came from a conservative family, very Republican, very MAGA. I didn't doctor the photo. I believed it was real. I found out later that it wasn't. If I knew that it wasn't real, I wouldn't have put it up. Now, does that bother you more than the rhetoric of Donald Trump at a funeral claiming that the left is responsible and he hates all the left and the left is responsible? They killed Charlie Kirk. What do you think is more damaging to the American people? No, wait, let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you a question. That means you need to stop talking. That means you need to stop talking because I'm going to ask the question very slowly and distinctly. What do you think is more dangerous? Somebody like me putting up a picture that was uninformed that it was a doctored photo of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt, or Donald Trump saying he hates half of America at Charlie Kirk's funeral? What do you think is more dangerous for the country?
Am I unmuted? I think yours is.
Okay, well then you're a complete idiot. You hold the president less accountable than a radio show host, and that proves that you're a complete imbecile. There's no point in having a conversation with you because you're claiming that me putting up a picture of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt, not even knowing that it was a Photoshop picture, is more dangerous than the president of the United States at a funeral, Charlie Kirk's funeral, saying that he hates half of America. Sir, that makes you a moron, okay? And that's the end of the conversation. You just proved how stupid you are. So it's been a very interesting week. I've had a lot of interesting phone calls. That would be one of them.